Okay, so a little bit of commentary in this one. Just going to read this out. From Benjamin Hancock. Sorry, Sam, bad news. Thanks for delivering those rare materials, Sam. Everyone at the distro centre really appreciates you coming through for us. I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you, though. That bike you saw outside, its battery's dead. You'll have to give it some juice if you want to use it. Only need to do it once, though. Autocharger should kick in after. Sorry if we got your hopes up. And got some more bad news for you, too. You see, different facilities have to work together, share materials so everyone gets what they need, and to make sure that everything that's produced gets put to proper use. That's why guys like you are so important. Without porters, the whole system falls apart. Whole world, even. Anyway, there's this guy, George Baton, over at the way station. He used to be a reliable porter, but lately it's like pulling teeth getting him to make even the simplest delivery. Keeps bitching about being scared or not having enough oxy or whatever. Always some excuse. Even when he does agree to make a run, he's liable to lose half his load en route. So, yeah, that's why we're a bit short on materials at the moment. I'm sure you'll help us put that to rights. We're counting on you, Sam. Speaking of George Baton, more than Oxy. Sam the man, our saviour. Things are looking up here at the way station. Everything feels better somehow. We were all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed when we set ourselves up, but 3 years of isolation and loneliness will change anyone's tune. Hell, when we first got here, we were putting up signs for porters and whatnot, but after a while some guys got too scared to even set foot outside. When Central went up, I told myself this was it, America's done. Everyone was feeling it too, and the mood was just bleak. And then you waltzed on in. I know what you're thinking. At first, I thought it was just the oxytocin too, but that's not it. Not all of it, anyhow. You gave us a glimmer of hope by bringing us into the chiral network. We're back in the game now. Been thinking of putting up signs again, even. Watchtowers too. Before long, we'll be opening up new delivery routes, mark my words. Still scary out there, though. All the oxy in the world won't help us deal with mules, let alone BTs. We shit ourselves every time we catch sight of one and end up dropping half our equipment. Honestly, a part of me is still a little worried that we won't be able to keep it up. That's why we need you, Sam. You're not scared of anything, right? So go show us how it's done. Okay, and this is from that data chip we found, I think. Okay, mules and drone syndrome. Who die hard, man, when 2 years ago where Bridges HQ. Bridges' primary objective is to rebuild America, and in order to rebuild, one of our main tasks is to reconnect cities and other settlements by re-establishing a delivery network. Back before the Death Stranding, the comms and delivery networks were what held society together. The whole thing was automated. AI managed, deliveries carried out by drone. The belief was that taking people out of the equation would revolutionize the entire system. But things didn't quite pan out that way. Instead, we started seeing cases of what would eventually be dubbed drone syndrome. It was too much for some folks to accept, leaving everything to machines and nothing to the common man. And indeed, the oxytocin deficiency and hormonal imbalances we confirmed seemed to back up that assessment. Humanity needed to be part of the process, so laws were put in place and we stepped back into the picture again. And then what happened? All the people put out of work by machines who got called up again convinced themselves society couldn't survive without them, and that brought on a whole new disorder. Delivery dependence syndrome, they called it. When the Death Stranding tore us apart, the delivery problem spiraled even further. It wasn't helped any by the fact that the chiral clouds prevented planes and drones from flying, which meant we had to go back to relying completely on human couriers, whether we liked it or not. Eventually, delivering goods became all some lived for. They were obsessed, addicted, consumed by the desire to deliver. Over time, they turned into the mules we know and love today. Bridge babies, dead man, 1 year ago, Bridges HQ. Look, I'm kinda new here at Bridges, so I don't know if any of this will be useful to you. Still, I'm happy to talk about BBs if that's what you want. They call me Dead Man, on account of my familiarity with the dead, get it? We've always been on good terms, you see. Used to have regular little chats back when I worked in the morgue. Anyway, that's also the reason why I work on BT maintenance and research, to learn more about those who are no longer with us. But I digress. Fact is, BBs were already being issued to our forces in the field before I joined Bridges. What's more, research into the little guys had already been conducted long ago, but no one took the plunge and put what they discovered to practical use. Still, what that did mean is that when Bridges wanted to build our own BBs, most of the work had already been done for us. We just needed to follow the instruction manual, so to speak. Which isn't to say that we have any idea how they work, how they can detect BTs, or how they can connect this world to the other side. We still have much to learn about our little friends, but one thing is certain: their continued study will lead us to a greater understanding of the Stranding, and of life and death itself. That much I can assure you. Well, I think that's about all I have to tell you. Hopefully I'll have something new to share next time we chew the fat. See you around, I guess. Timefall. Hartman, 3 years ago, Bridges HQ Lab. Timefall was first recorded when the Death Stranding occurred, and despite all the years that have passed since then, we are no closer to understanding how or why it accelerates the passage of time for the objects and organism it touches, or why it immediately turns to ordinary water having done so. So some researchers have gone as far as to posit this process as stealing time. As for why timefall is observed only in certain places, all that we know for certain is that it is somehow affected by local chiral connections. This is merely a hunch, but something in me suspects that the Death Stranding may have warped our perception of the passage of time. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, you understand. We humans can conceive of our own deaths and even the possibility of a place beyond death, yes? We have the capacity to conceptualize the future, an evolutionary advantage which aided our development as a species. Well, what if Timefall has given us a new, supercharged version of the essential ability? One that will take us to the next stage of our evolution. Perhaps we wouldn't need to hold ourselves up in the not cities. Perhaps in time the Death Stranding will come to be seen as the phenomenon. Should be seen as the phenomenon that saved our species. Exciting thoughts, I'm sure you'll agree. I, for one, can't wait to set out on our journey. Who knows what awaits us? Try calling out, huh? Okay, so I'm not going to do a lot of commenting. It'll mainly just be when we've got things to read out or decisions to make, if that comes up. So, yeah, there we go. And I'm actually just going to change, because I turned the mic off, I'm just going to change, B makes noises, but it comes out of the control speaker, which obviously you can't hear. So let's do that. Alrighty. So we had to take on an order. Yeah, okay.
Everything in your power, Evie.
We are. But we cannot release your son just yet. Believe me when I tell you it's for the best.
This woman in the mask who's done nothing but lie to me.
Beginning scan. Scanning Bridges ID. Verifying ID.
Sam, there's something I forgot to tell you. Managing your BB's stress levels and reducing the risk of autotoxemic attacks. There are a few things you can do if your BB starts showing signs of distress.
Such as?
Such as take a moment to look after it. Cradle the pod, gently rock it, that sort of thing. Out of curiosity, how's it doing at the moment?
Before I answer that,
Something wrong?
when I hook up my BB, I see things.
What kind of things?
Like a face, someone I don't know, calling to me. There's this room, too, with other people talking, but I can't make out the words.
Lead-through effect. Didn't I warn you about this? You're mistaking the BB's memories for your own. They're false flashbacks, nothing more. Let me explain. A BB is harvested from its steel mother at around 28 weeks and placed in a pod. To be clear, this is before it's even born. The procedure halts its development. But even at 28 weeks, its sensory systems have matured enough to process external stimuli. It is more than capable of encoding this information into memories. which can bleed into yours via your connection.
So who's the man I saw?
Someone from the medical team, maybe? Or a BB technician? Does it matter? The BB has been in circulation for a while now. It's been handled by a lot of people. How should I know which one made an impression?
'Cause you're the expert.
No one's an expert, Sam. BBs were developed decades ago in secret. They're your quintessential black boxes. We may use them, but we don't truly understand them. Believe me, I've been trying to learn more, but almost all of the old records are gone. If I find anything out, I'll tell you, all right? Dead man's honor.
Clear. All weapons will remain locked until departure. All clear. Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges.
While you're resting, I ran some network diagnostics. Beryllium monitoring and holographic systems are nominal. Unfortunately, our printer is offline. I know, after all the trouble you went through to bring us those materials. This one's on a... We ordered a part a while back, but it never arrived. The printer needs it to communicate with the chiral network. Mules must have snatched it, caught that porter en route or something. If I'm right, they'll have taken it to their drop site, which is smack dab in the middle of their territory. Don't suppose you'd be up for stealing us our property back? Can't think of anyone more qualified than you.
Mama's added a watchtower schematic to your PCC. If you don't have it on you, consider fabricating one. You never know when you'll need to recon an area. That thing you're holding is a crystal collector. As the name suggests, it provides secure storage for any crystals you gather.
Allow me to describe your quarry. Chiral crystals appear gold to the naked eye and are frequently found in formations resembling human handprints. Surrounding rocks and debris tend to float a few feet above the ground. And they are most commonly found in areas with high precipitation. Got all that? Rain, floating rocks, golden handprints. That's your trifecta. Look for these 3 things and you'll find the crystals. If you've been especially observant, then perhaps you already know where to look.
Order assigned. Beginning scan. Have a pleasant journey. Weapons restrictions lifted. Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. All weapons will remain on until departure. All clear. Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges. Weapons restrictions lifted.
Call it a rule or a habit, but most mules almost always bring stolen shipments home with them. Find the post box, steal back the cargo. Simple as that. But be careful, these guys are armed. If this goes sideways, be ready to fight.
further now.
MULE drop sites are rarely deserted, so remaining undetected is key. Keep a low profile and move slowly to minimize noise.
Hey, come and get me! Hey, you!
Damn addicts chasing a cargo high. Shame we gotta deal with their bullshit at all. Back in the day, AI did everything. Deliveries were handled by unmanned vehicles and drones. All we had to do was sit back and let them work. It was revolutionary. Damn near singularity. No reason for it not to take off. But it did. People didn't like it when we took the human element out of the service industry. So, after some consideration, we put it back in. Made jobs no one really needed and gave them to folks who couldn't live without them. And from there, it snowballed. Now we got cults of cargo chasing crazies who get off on hijacking shipments. Jackal's always on the lookout for the next porter. Make sure you're not him.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. All weapons will remain locked until departure. Cargo verified. Thank you. Decontaminating suit. All clear. Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges.
Back, are you? You're trying to put the rest of us to shame. Fine by me.
Good work, Sam. It seems your connection level is increasing. As your connection level increases, larger quantities of resources will be made available to you at our facilities.
See you around.
Good work.
Time to get that chiral printer in working order. Sorry to push you through so much trouble, but trust me, it'll be worth it. Excellent. The unit doesn't have a scratch on it. Never doubted you'd come through for us.
Sam, how are your shoes holding up? Not too well, I imagine, conditions being what they are out there. Nothing ruins your day like shoes falling apart while you're on the job. Carry on like that, and it's only a matter of time before you injure yourself. I've arranged for boots to be added to your supplies. Bridges standard issue, so they ought to fit you fine. You should always carry an extra pair. But if you forget or run into trouble, you can fabricate another via a terminal at one of our many facilities.
See you around.
Congratulations, Sam. I understand you now have access to a chiral printer. An extraordinarily useful device that can only function because of the manner in which our network utilizes the beach, enabling us to transfer massive volumes of data instantaneously. Since under normal circumstances, such transfers would take hours, if not days, some have speculated that the chiral network might, in essence, be a time machine. That it is transmitting data into the past. Suffice it to say, we have yet to fully grasp the fundamental nature of the network and the beach which we have come to rely upon. One might liken our relationship with it to that of primitive mans with fire. Is it useful? Quite. Is it dangerous? Undeniably so. Nevertheless, we have decided that the reward outweighs the risk. Furthermore, as the BTs are linked to the beach, it stands to reason that further study and experimentation could be of considerable benefit. The same could be said regarding you, of course. Rest assured, I will keep you apprised of what I learn. You have my word.
Good work. Your private locker can be used to store cargo and the like.